Hi guys, welcome back to the Betty Hill Clinic. Well, a proper classic gaming review. We're going to be taking a look at Golden Axe on the Mega Drive. Well, here we have Golden Axe. It was developed and published by Sega. It was designed by Makito Uchida, and as you can see, it came out on a lot of Sega platforms. We're going to be taking particular attention to the Mega Drive cum Genesis. It got released back in 1989 and is a side-scrolling beat-em-up. Right, well, as the story goes, Death Adder has captured the king and his daughter and holds them and the Golden Axe captive. He threatens to basically destroy the axe and the royal family unless the people take him as the new ruler. There's three warriors that decide, no, that just won't do. The first being the battle axe wielding dwarf Gilius. The second is, well, it's a male barbarian, and he's called, what, Axe Battler? Obviously he handles a two-handed broadsword, and the last is Tyrius Flare, an Amazon whose parents were both killed by Death Adder, and she's wielding the longsword. I'm going to be playing the game as Tyrius Flare herself. No, I'm not particularly good at it, but as stories go, it's not too bad. I'll give it 7 out of 10. Audio. Well, this is a game that is very in keeping with the arcade. The music is brilliant. I do quite like it. I'd like something a bit more beefier, if you know what I mean, but it is what it is. The sound effects from the sword and the killing of people, alright, maybe they're not perfect, but that's the charm of this game, and I really do like it. There is one thing though that really annoys me, and that is the sound that you hear when it's time to move on. When it flashes go, there was no need for the sound. I don't think really we need it. It's the only bugbear I've got, but it is a bugbear. I'll give it another 7 out of 10. Controls. This is again one of those games you can just pick up and play. They're not difficult to master. The controls are very simple and simplistic to a point. Getting your timing right, well, that's an all different ball game, but that's got nothing to do with the controls. I like them. There's no qualms. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. Graphics. I really do like these graphics. Tons of detail, colours pop. You know, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck from the 16-bit Mega Drive, you really are. And it just sort of reminds me of the films back in the day. You know, the likes of Conan the Barbarian, and to a lesser extent, Red Sonja. But no, you can't go wrong with these. Very detailed, very arcade worthy, just a brilliant port of the game, and it just looks fantastic, and it still stands up today. I think it does anyway, so and that's why I'm going to give it another 8 out of 10. Gameplay. Well, utterly brilliant. In fact, back in the day it was classed as groundbreaking because, well, you had 3 characters to choose from. Yes, each character has their own abilities, but you can also ride animals, beasts, my favourite being the dragon, obviously collect bottles for your power-ups and special attacks. And this was brilliant back in the day. But the best thing was, once you've completed the game, go and play it again, but go and choose a different character. That meant that the game wasn't getting as boring to people as some of the other beat 'em ups at the time, because after a while these sort of games do get boring, but you had the chance to at least play the game with a different character this time, and that was quite groundbreaking and one of the first games to ever do it, and for that it gets 8 out of 10. Overall, this is a brilliant game and a brilliant port. I'm really happy with it, but I certainly do want to get my hands on a few of the others. I've played it on the old Commodore and it's nowhere near as good as this, if I'm quite honest with you. But that's the difference between an 8-bit and a 16-bit machine. You're getting a lot of bang for your buck here with the 16-bit Megadrive, but there is more powerful systems out there. Doesn't mean the game's that much better, because it's all about the gameplay, and it certainly was back then, and this is a game that comes with it in barrels of it. It's highly recommended. If you've never played it, what rock have you been hiding under? Because you certainly should have played it in the arcades, and if you're not as old as me, you've got to try this on one of the systems. Anyway, it gets an overall score of 7.6, maybe a little bit lower than what it was back in the day, but I'll stand by it. Well, that's Golden Axe for the Mega Drive, or Genesis. Obviously there was loads of other ports done on this game. I did play this back on the arcade system, which was breathtakingly beautiful, and but was very surprised to see that this did manage to come out in the ZX Spectrum. I've never played it, so I can't knock it. Tell me, what system have you played this on, and what do you think is actually the best home version of this game? I'll be interested in your comments as always. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll catch you guys again. Take care.